Redditors who grew up, or besides practical money-saving measures. What were the unwritten social expectations of your world growing up? You never brought the field trip permission slips home because you knew better than to make your mum feel guilty she couldn't pay the $5.20 fee to let you go. I grew up in a trailer. In 4th grade, a girl was having a birthday party and needed addresses for invitations. The next day she told me her parents uninvited me because I lived in the trailer. That was a new thing I learned. I was supposed to be embarrassed about. I guess just expecting to have to deal with other people's shitty parents sometimes. Edit, thanks for all the replies and awards. I really thought this comment would get lost in the thread. I'm 31 and I still think about this all the time, and it puts me back in that small place all over again, which I know is silly. Stuff just sticks with you sometimes, you know. Actually felt good to sort of get it off my chest. I've read all the replies and see all of you. We can make our own little trailer park. Going to the doctor isn't an option until your fever is sustained at 104, a bone is broken, or the tooth rotted and won't fall out on its own. I am in my late 30s with full insurance and still have a hang-up about going for medical care. My father was constantly driving these two things into my head since I was old enough to remember. 1. Hard work will set you free too. You will not get anyone pregnant. He never meant that hard work would make you rich. He meant that if you're willing to work hard, you can always work some shit job that puts food on the table, and you'll be so exhausted by day's end you can rest. In my father's eyes, food on the table and a good night's rest was all a person really needed. The pregnancy thing was totally about shame. He grew up in the deep south with a Baptist preacher father. My father was around 6-7 in the early 1950s when his oldest brother, 15, got a girl, 18. In the church prego, the resulting shame and shunning from the community that ensued drove my father's mother to suicide. I'm sure, to some degree, he blames his current life on the pregnancy that he had nothing to do with. We weren't allowed to do any kind of extracurricular activity, so no instruments, no joining any kind of sports or Girl Scouts or anything that required an upfront investment for uniforms or the season. Walmart showed. My dad once said I wasn't really in need of glasses, that I just wanted to look like all my four-eyed friends. Lol, spoiler alert. Totally needed them. Off-brand. Never tell your friends that you couldn't afford food or give them any clue about what it's like at home. My mother used to ask me if I told anyone how we live, and that's when I started questioning our situation. Hide money or it will be borrowed. Also, don't get attached to anything because if it's any good it will be sold in a yard sale. And if it has any value it will be pawned. I got the same pair for 3 Christmases and birthdays in a row, out of pawn for birthday, pawned again a month later, out of pawn for Christmas, pawned again by March, etc. A slash was only for company. I lived in Florida and didn't know I could use the air conditioner without having someone over until I moved out of my parents' home. Nothing wasted. Mum had a dish called mixed-up stew, which was basically a little minced beef, mashed potatoes, and any leftovers from the fridge. Good menu planning. Should never caught it that but one meal led to the next, with last night leftovers included. Failing that, she always had a soup on the go using bones from chicken, dried barley, and, yet again, leftover. Thing is, they were all delicious, but that could be me just remembering her fondly. Do not answer the door. Do not answer the phone. When the man is looking through the window, do not tell anyone who knocks on the door where the parents work. This turned out to be doorstep lenders like Provident, no idea how. They're still around these days.